Welcome to Capital Currents, where the flow of business news and market trends keeps you ahead of the tide. I'm your watchdog, and today is Wednesday, August 28th. In this episode, Apple CFO exits. Mark Zuckerberg admits that the White House pressured him to censor COVID-19 related content. And finally, more updates on the race to acquire Paramount. Both the S&P and Nasdaq were down slightly on Tuesday. Even though more than half the stocks in the S&P were in the green, the index got dragged down by big tech and semiconductor stocks. Some of the biggest losers were Supermicro, Broadcom, and Micron. Remember, the S&P and Nasdaq are market cap weighted indices, so larger companies have a larger impact on the overall index. The fact that big tech and semiconductor stocks were down might indicate that investors are nervous about Nvidia's earnings, which are scheduled to come out today after market close. As always, the entire fate of the stock market rests on Nvidia's shoulders. By the way, the Dow Jones hit record highs yesterday, if anyone cares. Apple CFO is stepping down after serving since 2014. But he isn't leaving Apple, he's just transitioning to a different role, focusing on leading teams on IT, security, and real estate development, which is kind of a weird mix. This is something that happens with Apple executives a lot. They step down from their main role, but they don't leave the company completely. They transition to a smaller, different role. These executives have likely made so much money that they don't mind taking a pay cut to take on a smaller role at Apple. The new CFO has some big shoes to fill, because Apple stock has gone up almost 800%, and annual sales have more than doubled under the predecessor's watch. Shareholders loved this CFO because he executed hundreds of billions of dollars in share buybacks. By the way, Apple also announced yesterday that their iPhone event will be on September 9th. So in a couple weeks, Apple's going to show off their new iPhone, packed with AI features. Mark Zuckerberg says the White House reportedly pressured Meta to censor certain COVID-19 content during the pandemic. He made this confession in a letter to the House Judiciary Committee, stating that even humor and satire posts were included in the censorship. Meta said it removed over 20 million pieces of content from Facebook and Instagram for violating COVID misinformation policies. Zuck says he regrets not speaking up earlier about the pressures and that he'll push back if it happens again. Protecting free speech while managing potentially harmful content is not a new challenge for Meta or other social media platforms, but it is becoming an increasingly hot-button issue, especially since Elon acquired Twitter. This issue has gained even more attention after the CEO and founder of Telegram was arrested in France over the weekend, which we talked about in yesterday's episode. Let's run it back one more time. Take 3. Skydance is officially acquiring Paramount after billionaire Edgar Bronfman Jr. decided to drop his last-minute bid for the company. I told you that Bronfman initially offered around $4 billion for the company, and then he upped his price to $6 billion. But the offer still couldn't match Skydance's $8 billion bid. Remember, Skydance is owned by David Ellison, who is the son of Larry Ellison. The fact that Paramount even entertained Bronfman's offer when it couldn't beat Skydance's made Skydance a little upset. Skydance now will buy Paramount, and I say that the drama is over, but technically, Paramount has until September 5th to get a better offer than Skydance's. Paramount shares are actually down 5% on this news. The markets just don't like wishy-washy decisions. That's all the business headlines I have for you. Let's take a look at some stocks making moves. Shares of Eli Lilly are up after they announced a new form of their weight loss drug, Zepbound, which they plan to sell for half the usual monthly price. Remember, Zepbound is the competitor weight loss drug to Ozempic. The price will start at $399 per month and will be sold through their direct-to-consumer website. Eli Lilly hopes this will increase access for people without health insurance coverage. The stock is up around 2% at the time of this recording. On the flip side though, shares of Hims & Hers, which sells a cheap generic version of the weight loss drugs, are down 6% this morning. Shares of Kava are down today. It's no secret that this is one of my favorite stocks, so I'm taking this one personally. This morning, regulatory filings showed that insiders and executives sold millions of dollars in stock. The CEO sold over $24 million, the co-founder sold over $12 million, and the CFO sold over $600,000. This tends to send shares lower because investors wonder why these insiders are selling so much stock. Kava stock is down more than 8% in the pre-market in reaction to this news. But overall, Kava stock has had a fantastic year, up more than 200% as of Monday's close. That's even better than Nvidia. That's all for today's show. Keep navigating those waters and see you tomorrow.